Okay, we're talking about artillery, and we want to do is we want to keep our long-range artillery back. This is not long-range artillery.
Moving, sir.
So let's see.
We're ready,
gonna
sir.
get these tanks out of here.
Any orders, sir? Vehicles
So we're playing
operational.
this mission of
Orders?
Kursk. As you can see right here, they're going to be attacking from this spot. So we want to put our tanks in a good position.
Affirmative.
So we're going to move them there, and we want to keep our artillery protected or behind. So one option
Reporting
is
for
to
duty.
hold up the X button and hold down the bottom right trigger on the PS4, and you can fortify. Do the same here. That's good enough. Try to fortify and try to fortify there as well.
Artillery ready.
Oh, to fortify, you hold down you get the circle menu and you push the left analog stick down, and that should fortify
Any
your
orders, sir?
position. Now your position can be destroyed, obviously, like mine was there. What you want to do, and we weren't able to do it here,
Artillery ready.
is you want to get your
Relocating the
artillery protected. You can either fortify that or have it behind the line of fire. So what I should have done in this situation is had the tanks out there by the trenches and maybe move the artillery back where it wasn't in range, where it can get pounded by the tanks. I may be able to survive this position, but you want to be able to protect your artillery. Another option you have is you have supply vehicles. You want to keep them in range of supplying your artillery. So in this case, we've got a supply vehicle right here.
Supply
If
truck
we'll
ready.
hold down the X button and the right, let's see the right, well, it's supplying there. Let me see if I show it. Try to explain what I did here. I do things pretty
Reporting for duty.
fast, so sometimes they don't go very fast. You have the option,
Yes,
you
sir.
can either fuel resupply or ammo resupply. You want to typically use ammo resupply, so what you'll do is you'll hold the wheel up and then you'll push the left trigger stick and let go of it, and then it'll give you an option. What you'll do is you'll push the triangle button where the bullet said, and that will resupply this particular anti-tank gun that you see right there. It's resupplying that, and of course
Affirmative.
you can also resupply your long-range stuff as well. So again, I'm going to select
ammo,
this
fuel, or repair?
supply vehicle. I'm going
Affirmative.
to hit resupply, and I'm going to hit the triangle button, and the supply truck is going to go to where that assault gun is right there. That's one of our long-range weapons. And another thing you want to do is try to not have your
Any orders, sir?
weapons take too much damage. That's why they have these things called repair vehicles that you see down here. And the repair vehicle, if you see this option on the wheel, it's called repair. So I'll hit that button, or let's see, hit that out there. Okay, so now I've got the repair, the mechanical stuff here. I can repair this item with a triangle button. Oops. And I may want to try to repair some of these anti-tank guns as well. But yeah, what you want to do is you want to have your weapons and stuff behind that. So I'm holding
Reporting for
down the
duty.
X button here. I'm going to get these
Affirmative.
guys in.
Reporting for duty.
And with these long-range anti-tank guns,
Yes.
or semi-long range, I'm going to move those back
Orders.
to where they're not going to be in the line of
orders,
fire,
sir?
hopefully. And another thing you want to
Relocating the
do,
gun.
particularly
ready, sir.
strategically,
Ready to attack.
let me move these guys up here,
Yes, sir.
is you'd like to be able to triangulate
Reporting for duty.
your guns,
Moving, sir.
so they can be spread out
Artillery ready.
and fire from a wide range. I'm
Hostile
gonna put
units.
those in. Put that
Relocating
one
the
right
gun.
there. And I'm going to move these
Yes, sir.
troops here. Yep, looks like the attackers are coming already. So what I've done is I can fortify too. So I'm going to fortify. Again, what you
Awaiting
do is you
orders.
press X, you hold the wheel up with the bottom right hand button, and then left analog stick down.
Reporting for duty.
So left analog, or left stick, left analog stick down. And they're going to fortify the position here. So I've got a trench, and then I've got my guns protected on the back end. And I'm going to move these guys
Coordinates,
back
sir.
here a little
Moving,
bit.
sir.
And of
We're
course,
ready, sir. Moving.
get my position. So that's one way.
Reporting for
Oops.
duty.
Let's see.
Yes, sir. Orders. Infantry on the move. Any
You can
orders,
select
sir?
a bunch of people.
Awaiting
What
orders.
you do in that case, let
Yes,
me
sir.
get this in here.
Yes, sir.
What you do is hold down the X button and then you push
Orders.
the left analog stick up, and that'll allow you to select a bunch of fighters and stuff to move them. But yeah, the basic end of this on artillery is that you want to have your artillery back where it's protected, and of course you're gonna have to resupply it. So we've got the
Need
supply
ammo,
truck
fuel, or
here.
repair?
We're going to take it all the way over to here, and you can see that the weapons thing, or the bullets, come up.
Moving, sir.
Now, if you hold down the top left trigger button, you can have it supply multiple ones. So I'll push X or triangle again. Triangle again. This is obviously for PS4, and then triangle again. Triangle again. And what it's going to do is it's going to resupply these in order. I may be overrun, but yeah, that's what it'll do there. So that way our guns
Vehicle's
won't run out of
operational.
ammo here. Let me put the tank in front
Hurry
just
up.
to do that, or try to protect them. Yeah, so if you see right here, I'm taking damage with this gun. You want to try to keep your long-range artillery protected at all costs. Obviously, I did not completely do that here. And let's see.
Yes?
We're going to take it forward.
Any orders, sir?
I think it's a circle.
Ready
You take
to
the
attack.
tank and then it's a circle button.
Affirmative.
The circle button makes it move without stopping when it encounters fire. So, yeah, let's move it.
Affirmative.
So yeah, you can see I lost one of our
Affirmative.
more important guns. You want to try to stagger these things back and triangulate them if possible, so that if you do take fire, they can hit a range of targets. So that's one strategic thing, at least when you're playing defense in this game. Okay, in the last part, we looked at a defensive strategy for artillery and what to do and what not to do. In this portion, we're going to look at ways we can offensively use our artillery.
Orders?
So we've got a heavy-duty rocket launcher, and what we're trying to do, I'm just going to zoom in right here. We are going to attack this fortified position right here, and then, of course, we're going to later attack a fortified position over here. So strategically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place our artillery back along here and then send the troops forward with artillery backing them. And I'm going to later hide the artillery deep into the woods and then maybe send some soldiers forward so we can expose positions and try to fire and eliminate enemy targets without taking heavy casualties. So, of course, we got a rocket launcher right here. We're going to get that in position.
Moving.
And let's see, we got some other long-range artillery. There's an assault
Any orders,
gun
sir?
is long-range artillery, so we don't want to see the tutorial here. So we're going to put the assault gun right there,
Moving the gun.
and we're going to put the
Artillery,
other assault
ready.
gun right there.
Moving, sir.
Now, these rocket launchers, if you're using them, they have to be supplied. So
Need
you
ammo,
want to put your
fuel, or
supply
repair?
vehicle right by the rocket launcher.
Moving.
And keep it supplied early, keep it supplied often.
Got it.
Rocket launchers go through a ton of fuel. I've got a heavy tank. I think what I'm going to do is take the heavy tank on the bridge.
On the way.
And this tank destroyer, I'm not sure if it's got some range here. We're going to put it in the back.
On the
Toward
way.
the back. And of course, I believe this is a long-range gun, self-propelled gun.
Gun ready.
I believe this has some range. Let's just test it out, just to see how far I can shoot. Yeah, that one has a little bit of range. What I did here is I went, I selected the tank, and then I pulled up the menu with the bottom right trigger button. And if you see this right here, it says attack ground. I did that, and that gives you an idea how much range these things have, how far they can shoot. You can pre-program them to shoot as well by pressing X for execute. It's in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. I'm not going to do that here. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to move this tank by the side here, and then I'm also going to get the supply
Need ammo, fuel, or repair?
supply trucks in position for these
Got it.
big vehicles or big tanks I have here. I'm going to be resupplying it with fuel,
Supply
but I'm going to
truck ready.
change that to ammo as soon as
Got
I
it.
send the tanks across. So I think, oh, and I've got, let's see, I got infantry, I've got a
Yes, sir.
mortar launcher
Infantry ready.
here. That's long-range artillery, so I'm going to try to get that right here by the
Yes,
bridge
sir.
and get that in position to where
Yes.
it can start shooting
on.
as we go across. All right, I've got a tank destroyer and a heavy tank,
sir.
so I'm going to select both of those,
Yes.
and I'm just going to send them across. I'm going to make them go across. I'm going to hold down the command button. That's the O button, so that way they don't stop. They're going to go until they get to the spot right here.
Affirmative.
So, okay, let the firing begin.
Any orders,
And
sir?
let's get this over here.
Relocating the gun.
All right, fun.
Yes?
So he's going across. Okay, here's the enemies. Now the rocket launcher's going. You press the triangle button to get the supply
Need
vehicle
ammo,
to
fuel,
go.
or repair?
Triangle button on this
Yes,
one.
sir.
And then triangle button to get the supply vehicle to go. And then we can fire. And there we are attacking the position. We have a tank destroyer there that's going to have to be repaired at some point. What we want to do is get them out, or clear the Germans out of their position in this case. I may actually
Ready,
want
sir.
to, yeah, I'm going to move this tank forward a little more, just to see what they're shooting at. And
Attack.
they haven't retreated yet. Okay. One target destroyed. And there's another tank
Moving,
here.
sir.
I think I'm just going to send the rest
Got
of my
it.
tanks now. And we'll see if they're...
Ready to attack.
Moving.
Yes, sir.
Okay, send them across.
Got it.
Great work, comrades.
Objective complete. Okay.
Continue our advance and capture the towns.
And
on
yeah,
both
the rocket
sides
launcher
of
is
the
very
river.
valuable. The one thing I would say about this rocket
Operation
launcher is
boundaries are
it will use a lot of supply, so you may want to be careful. Keep that in mind. So okay, we
Artillery
got
ready.
mortar
Infantry reporting for
infantry.
duty.
Coordinates,
I'm
sir.
holding down the top left one button, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these
What are the coordinates?
long-range weapons,
Ready,
and
sir.
we're going
Ready,
to move
sir.
those to where I
Need
sent
ammo, fuel,
earlier
or repair?
along the side here. So I'm going to, let's see,
Affirmative.
spot 1, they're going to move to, and then spot 2, and then they're going to be hiding out in here, hopefully safely. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to send soldiers on the ground to try to attack that position here. So let's see, medic, we don't want the medic.
Any
Armored
orders,
cars
sir?
probably good, a
Transport
few
ready.
empty troops.
Any orders,
and
sir?
of course,
Supply truck ready.
we're going to move all this stuff across here except for the medic.
Moving.
Now that command may not always be the best
We're ready,
strategy,
sir.
but we'll see
Yes?
here. Kind of
Yes?
get my tanks up close. What I'd like to do
Affirmative.
is use some sacrificial pieces to uncover this position, and then I could start shelling them.
Yes,
I
sir.
think I'm just going to make
Yes,
this.
sir.
Yeah, I'm going to make this out of turn here. Get the supply
Moving.
vehicle number 1 in place,
Awaiting orders.
and we're going to get these 2
Got it.
long-range pieces out here. Oh, I forgot I selected supply vehicle 1.
Moving the gun. Any
Okay,
orders, sir?
Infantry reporting for duty.
mortars there.
Ready, sir. Affirmative.
Spot 1. Let's get these
Awaiting orders.
pieces in place here.
Moving the gun.
So yeah, it takes a little while to set up, obviously, but you want to protect your long-range pieces and keep them out of the way, and then try to use them offensively when you can.
ammo,
So
fuel,
okay,
or
we've got
repair?
these 2 supply vehicles. Going to move them right here.
Come on.
Long-range piece
Coordinates,
1,
sir.
long-range piece 2. That's a mortar.
Artillery
The other
ready.
assault gun. And we're going to move those right about
Relocating the gun.
here, and then we're just going to take the supply vehicles that we have. Supply
Orders.
vehicle number 1. Okay, who do we want to supply? Oh, they're
Yes,
full.
sir.
Okay, their weapons are full. Good. So I'm just going to move
Supply
these 2
truck
supply
ready.
vehicles, and then while I'm doing that,
Come
I am going to take the. I'm going to take some light soldiers
Awaiting
and just send them out.
Infantry reporting for duty.
I'm going to try to
Yes.
have them take this house. It's not going to be
Infantry moving.
successful. But they're going to draw fire, and then when they draw fire, these tanks will start firing. Or not, these long-range artillery, sorry.
Reporting for duty.
Alright, let's get the supply
Check the
truck going
woods.
here.
I don't want any surprises. Target in sight.
Okay, they're encountering heavy fire, and now we can fire away. And as always, keep that rocket launcher supplied. So, okay, now I'm going to
Ready
take
to
the
attack.
tank and force it through this
Hurry
way.
up.
Wow, they got totally destroyed.
Vehicles
Alright, I'm going
operational.
to take this other tank, and I'm going to flank it over here.
Yes, sir.
You got to have them, you got to have the targets uncovered.
Ready to attack.
So you have to have a piece in place so that they can, they can fire on there. And then I made the mistake. Why are they? Oh, they're shooting at me. Yeah, I made the mistake of exposing my position and not having enough tanks and stuff to
Infantry
fire.
moving.
Yeah, that's the basic idea. So I've got these protected pieces right here. I think I lost a supply truck. Oh, I just lost a
Need
supply
ammo,
truck. So
fuel, or
okay.
repair?
Well, not okay, but whatever. I lost a supply truck there. Had him a little too close. But what you want to
Need
do,
ammo,
obviously,
fuel, or
is
repair?
keep your artillery behind and then send sacrificial troops out, and that way you can go through. So we've got
Ready
this
to
heavy duty
attack.
tank right here, and
Moving.
yeah, that way we're lighting them up. We've got artillery support. You want to have artillery support when you're doing offensive attacks and stuff like that. So hopefully this example helps give you an idea as to how you would route or set up and coordinate an attack.
Blast those fascists. Find another way to cross that river.
Okay, in this part we're doing the German mission, and we're focusing on defense again. What the French are going to do, French and British are going to do, is they're going to attack through this road right here. So what I've done is I've set up tanks, and we're talking about artillery. I've got mortars on the outside. If you can see, I got mortar infantry right there. I've got them spread out. I've got like another mortar in somewhere back in here. Anyway, I've got my mortars. Yeah, there's a mortar right there. There's another mortar right there. I've got my stuff spread out, and eventually I'm going to get heavy-duty guns that are going to come in, and I'm going to try to spread them out wide. Keep my heavy tanks in the middle and try to triangulate, as I was saying earlier. So I'm going to start this
Infantry
mission
ready.
here by sending this submachine gunner
Yes.
forward, and that will kick off a chain of events. I've also got these houses
units.
defended, so I can.
encountered a great many
Yep,
of those
there they're
heavy
attacking.
tanks.
So now I can
Fall
use
back
my
to a more
mortars.
defendable position
And I actually
prepare
put a
to make
mortar up
stand
early.
there.
Let's see what we got here.
Reinforcements will arrive soon.
And then while I'm doing this, I'm going to get reinforcements arriving. So I'm setting a mortar ahead, and are they attacking? Oh, no,
Ready,
they're
sir.
not. Let's see. Oops.
Orders.
I'm going to
Ready for
extract a few
battle.
of these,
Infantry ready.
and we're going to bait them
Infantry
out.
moving.
And then once we
Ready
bait
for
them
battle.
out, they're going to be fully attacking us.
Infantry on the
Or
move.
fully attacking our position. And you can see I'm getting the
Any orders, sir? Hurry up.
reinforcements in the back.
Waiting orders. Any orders, sir? Move in. Yes, sir.
Okay, I've got my reinforcements coming in the back, and like I said earlier, what I'm going to do with these is set these guns out on the outside. That's weird, they're not...
Yes?
let's see, let's get out here.
Reporting for duty. Got it.
I'm just going to send those troops because they're not very powerful. I'm going to try to set these guns on the outside as soon as I get control of them.
Reinforcements arrived. More of these guns
All right,
are
the
arriving
reinforcements have
soon.
arrived.
The rest of the army is too far behind. Prepare a defense line and don't let the Tommies
Now I've got
break
to
through.
set these things up on the outside and triangulate with the stand.
We'll do our
So
best,
we're going to
Commandant.
get this one over here.
Affirmative.
The 88mm flak is an excellent gun
We're
designed
gonna
for
put
dual
this
purpose.
one
It is very effective against both air and ground targets.
way over here, and
Truck reporting for duty.
we're gonna put this big gun over here.
Moving,
And the
sir.
idea here is to try to protect your big guns
Any
and
orders,
not
sir?
get totally destroyed. And preferably get them resupplied as well. I'm going to resupply the ones in the back
Transport
anyway.
ready.
I'm going to keep this one over here. I
Got
might
it.
regret it. And then I'm going to use this armored
Truck reporting for
vehicles
duty.
Moving the gun.
Truck reporting for duty.
as defensive things here. So yeah, the idea is to
Transport
try
ready.
to, if you know it's coming,
Transport ready.
the idea is to try to
Affirmative.
build a defensive position, having your heavy stuff up front
Hurry up.
and having your
Any orders, sir?
long-range artillery,
Relocating the gun.
which
Truck
is what
reporting
this is
for duty.
for. Having your long-range artillery set up in the
Moving.
set up as a defensive, set up in the back,
Transport
sorry,
ready.
where it can't get
Truck reporting
taken
for
out.
duty.
So I've got some tanks, and I'm going
Yes,
to try to
sir.
protect the tanks with armored vehicles. And, you know, basically
You
try
need ammo,
to
fuel, or
I can hear that the British tanks are on the move. Soldiers, get ready.
basically try to keep
you need ammo, fuel, or repair?
keep my positions
Truck reporting
protected
for
here.
duty.
All
Truck
right,
reporting for duty.
positions out, and we're going to put this thing
Hurry
here.
up.
I don't see the soldiers attack. Oh,
Enemy
now they're
sighted.
attacking. Yep, they're finally attacking. Okay. Now another thing is if you call up the wheel by holding the left trigger button down, they have things like smoke grenades, which I can use with here.
Ready,
They
sir.
also have regular grenades. So you can throw this stuff out the window.
Awaiting orders.
So these guys don't have
Orders?
anything. These guys don't have anything. So
Reporting
yeah,
for
I
duty.
hold down the button and I have 2 grenades, so I'm gonna have to throw a grenade. And that's probably a bad move there. Okay, let's see
Any
how far
orders,
we can
sir?
throw a grenade here.
Hostile unit spotted. Reporting for duty.
Alright, so I'm holding down the right trigger button and I'm gonna hit the left analog stick where it says throw grenade, and then I select the target. I can only go where the green is, obviously.
Yes.
And the same thing with smoke grenades, you can do that there. Basically,
Ready, sir.
these tanks are going to run through everything I have here.
Hostile unit spotted.
And those grenades aren't
Yes.
going far enough.
Yes, sir.
The idea here is basically try to delay, stall, what have you.
Any orders, sir?
And that's what I'm going to do. Delay and stall,
Yes, sir.
and try to get my reinforcements set up.
Ready, sir.
The objective, obviously, is going to be to try to protect
Yes, sir.
protect
sir.
those artillery that I showed earlier in the mission here. And obviously, if you want to fast forward to the part where they're going through, that's perfectly okay too.
Yes.
But yeah, this is a tricky battle in this game. So hopefully, this
Ready,
strategic
sir.
thinking will help you get through it if you haven't got this mission ready. All right, more
Reporting for
smoke.
duty.
More smoke. Again,
orders, sir?
X, right trigger or left trigger on the smoke grenades, and then X again.
Ready, sir.
Alright, triangle.
Yes.
All right, now time to use that grenade I was saving. And
Any orders, sir?
We're gonna use it here. Okay, we're gonna use it.
Yes.
You got a lot of buttons in this game. So again, I've got this mortar right here,
Yes, sir.
and apparently he's not firing a lot, so that's not good.
Reinforcements arrived.
Good, my mortar's firing finally. So I had a mortar in a bad position, wasn't utilizing it fully. I got
Infantry
this
on
other
the
mortar
move.
right here.
Yes, sir.
We gotta get them in range.
Infantry moving.
I should have had the mortars closer. That was the idea. Okay, I've got more supplies coming right here. Okay, I've got these guns,
Transport ready.
and I am going to try to lever them up or use them in certain spots. Alright, got this
Truck
gun. I'm going
reporting
to
for
send it
duty.
wide. Try not to have them all together. Try to spread them out, so if they do,
Yes.
when the enemy does get close, you're not going to get totally destroyed. Or at least that's my
On
line
the
of
way.
thinking here. And then I'm going to put the armored vehicles in a line where they can stop the troops from advancing, and then I can fire
Truck
with the...
reporting for duty. Moving.
I'm going to fire with the cannons there. Alright, got this guy in position right
Transport
here.
ready.
And then again, I'm holding down the
Hostile
R
units.
button, and then I'm just selecting the tow
Waiting
thing
orders.
with the left stick, as you probably figured out. And then what the left stick will do is protect me. Oh, darn. I'm in trouble here. Alright,
Transport ready.
same thing. Release the tow button, and then the gun's in place. And try to get in a spot where they're not firing at. Now you can also set these guns up to fire if you push the right stick and then you hit I think it says
Seems
attack
they don't
ground. I'm
believe
not
the
going to do
heaviest
it there.
tanks can be
You can do
defeated.
it. You can
They
also
just keep
request
coming.
towing. You just use the left stick as you call it the left wheel there. So yeah, basically what we're trying to do is spread our defenses out. I may have not had enough guns in the back spot here. Let's see, where's our mortar?
Infantry on the
Got a mo-
move.
oh, that's an anti-tank gun. I think our mortar got destroyed.
Infantry on the move.
Okay, and this mission's a little
Reinforcements arriving.
challenging on the German side. Okay, I got more guns coming. I'm going to try to spread them out, of course, here when I get a chance. Let's do this here. Okay,
Reporting for duty.
I'm going to have one gun. Let's see, let's put this gun over here.
Yes, sir.
And let's put this other
Truck
gun
reporting for duty.
on the far side. If you're spread out, it's harder to
Truck reporting for duty.
get totally
Yes,
destroyed.
sir.
Moving where you need
And you also want to try to keep them supplied totally.
You need ammo, fuel, or repair?
So I'm going to get this guy supplied right here.
I'm hit. Shoot them.
Ready, sir.
I'm going to drop the gun off there, and I'm going to put a roadblock. Alright,
Truck
I'm
reporting
going
for
to
duty.
hold the release the tow here, and then use this thing as a roadblock. So I'm just going to
Infantry on
command
the move.
the armored vehicle to go there. Same thing over here. I'm going to release it. And command the armored vehicle over here. And then that way my guns can fire away. As you can see, the guns are firing away right there. Basically try to bog down and slow the British advancement here.
Affirmative.
Protect the German guns. I'm not sure if we got another reinforcement or not. Okay.
Infantry
Yeah.
reporting for duty.
So I've got tanks there, and I'm going to try to repair.
Come on.
Do I want to repair the tank? Yeah, I want to repair.
Ready, sir.
Alright, so this gun's firing. I'm going to
Affirmative.
keep it. Try to keep your long range vehicles, long range armory and stuff
Any orders,
supplied
sir?
fully. That mortar's got 30 out of 50. And in this mission, it's not as huge to run out, but you want to
Come on.
keep your defensive position. See, I've got them all bunched. That easy to be in here. Try to complete the mission. They're all going around. There's a big jam up there, and because of that big jam, you get a lot of shots. Destroy their vehicles as they're coming forward.
Any orders, sir? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep, that gun's abandoned. This see they're breaking through my defenses. But yeah, I've got to spread out. Hopefully we'll be successful here. But yeah, the main concept is you want to try to spread out your artillery in this defensive spot, so they can triangulate and they're not taking a ton of hits. You will take damage as you go. If you can just hit the pocket, or keep the advancement on the pocket,
Reporting for duty.
you can do a lot of damage. So keep up with that order.
Supply truck ready.
As you can see, I got these tanks still protecting. They haven't done a lot of damage. There's a ton of tanks. The enemy's right in here. And, hopefully we can hold off. Trying to keep them in the pocket. Keep them in a bad spot. Bye-bye to my mortar. I missed that mortar.
Reporting for duty.
Alright, get the supply vehicle out of there.
Yes,
This
sir.
guy.
Supply truck ready.
Alright. Pocket in.
Hurry up.
Yeah, so the base on this one is just, I probably said it several times, but when I'm trying to contain it and keep it in the pocket, we can kind of tee off on them. You can see I've got the guns wide set. They're having a difficult time going through, and this mission's probably going to result in successful. I believe this is mission 2 on the German offensive. Another thing, like I said, if you can get I need visibility, so I'm going to send
reporting. Moving where you need me.
Where if long-range guns can see the tanks, they can hit them.
Affirmative.
So yeah, we've got these all. Yeah, we're taking control of one of the tanks, and now we just got to hit this with our long-range guns.
Finally, they gave up. The British are very persistent.
And
I'll give
boom.
them that.
Outstanding job.
Yeah,
Your
that's pretty much
resourcefulness is remarkable.
completed the
Germany
mission,
needs
so.
great soldiers like you.
But yeah, if you see how the defensive pocket was set up, we were able to contain them and keep them from doing any damage on us. As you can see, they took a lot more damage, a lot more hits, and lost a lot more equipment than we did. If we didn't have a defensive position like that, we would have been overrun very quickly. So hopefully these 3 examples I gave in artillery help you to play better and think more strategically. And if you have any additional comments and stuff you'd like to add or stuff that would add value to this, go ahead and leave your idea or strategy in the comment section below. And of course, that wraps this up. I am signing out. Thank you for watching.